in SC Lab, first one, this vision mission, these documents I will forward you, all of these formats, each and everything. But from here onwards, you need to like from list of figures, list of table. Again, this the set of documents I will only share. SDLC and UML introduction and the star UML tool overview I will share. Okay, so after this, so from here onwards, page number you are going to start SC Lab introduction. Here you are going to start the page number, and here you will have Roman page numbers. Okay, Roman page numbers. If page numbers are also not there, it is okay. So fine. Okay, and from here onwards, you will have actual numbering. Numbering will start till the end of the documentation process. So after declaration, so list of figures and list of tables, and you can give here table of contents, like contents. The contents page will start from here. So from lab introduction onwards, you are going to do the remaining procedure. So SC lab intro, which is covering software development lifecycle and unified modeling language. What are the diagrams that we are going to use, and star UML tool overview. So what are the things that we are going to select, and how we are working on the tool. I will share the information related to these three. Okay, once you are done with that, so what are the application that you are working on in a lab? So that application name you have to, and logo and the tagline. So this is a color print. So the one which you are going to take is an color print you are going to take here. Okay, so here in the color print, so I will specify the documentation format and styling as well. So once I'm done with the all chapters, then problem statement. So 2 to 3 lines you will keep. Okay, 2 to 3 lines. You are going to write the 2 to 3 lines of the problem statement, and which one is a color statement? The first one is a color, and this one is a problem statement which you are going to frame and abstract. So almost, so 250 words you can maximum. Okay, and from introduction onwards, the introduction you will give the brief introduction about the application, why they have come up with that application, and what are the main things that they have done, and the literature survey before that application, like history you are going to refer. So before the application, what are the applications are there, what are the drawbacks with those applications, and who have significantly contributed for the development of an application, like authors, papers, each and everything will keep in the literature survey. Once you are done with that, system study. So here in the process of system study, you will identify before what applications are there, what are the drawbacks of their applications, which you have done already, and what are the advantages with your application, and what are the challenges you are having in this application, you will explain in the system study. Existing system, proposed system, advantages and disadvantages, you will explain in the system study. Once you are done with the system study, then you will come to the system design and modeling. So in the design and modeling, first diagram you will keep is the DFDs, data flow diagrams, which we have already done. Okay, data flow diagrams, and you will give the level 0 and level 1 DFDs I am asking. So level 0 and level 1, these two DFDs you are going to place. uh, and next 9 UML diagrams, which is ranging from the class 2 to component and deployment diagram. So level 0, level 1, and 9 UML diagrams from class to the deployment diagram. So all 9 UML diagrams, and in activity you have again swimline and the basic activity you will keep only two, not a general flow. Swimline and the basic activity you will keep as a part of an UML diagrams. So altogether 10 diagrams you will have: class, object, sequence, state chart, activity, collaboration, component, deployment, and activity. You will have swimline and the normal activity diagram you will have with join and fork. So these are the 9 UML diagrams which you are getting, and 2 data flow diagrams. Altogether 10 to 11 diagrams you will have in the system design, and each and every diagram explanation you have to give. And the 3 use case diagrams, again you will explain the scenario based 3 use case diagrams separately. Okay, So this is about the UML diagrams and the data flow diagrams. And if any project which is having the database, obviously all of the projects will have database for storing the information. So in that case, if you want to go with the ER diagram also, you can go with an ER diagram. So multiple times I have checked the UML diagrams and the data flow diagrams. So almost that part is over, and just you need to write the description part for those diagrams. Okay, so this is about the system design and the modeling. And next you will come to the implementation. So the implementation part should consist of, here we are not writing any code, right? So we are only concentrating on the UML diagrams and the requirements, and the descriptive part we are going to talk more in this lab. So you need to emphasis more on the system design and the modeling. And then implementation, wherein we will identify just what are the tools they have used for then implementation. So tools like IDEs and servers and the client machines and the various kind of the softwares which they have used, what type of database, what type of front end they have used. So we will talk about the tools. So mainly integrated development environment, and if any of the tools are there like servers, if they have used, that we will talk about as a part of the tools in implementation. So once it is done, we'll go with the technologies, which programming language they have used for developing an application. Okay, what type of programming language, either it is what type of scripting language they have used, what type of like a back-end programming they have used. So we will identify the technologies for implementing this project. And then sample code of an application. So obviously we'll get sample code for each and every application. So if you get any sample code, browse for the like WhatsApp sample code and Zomato sample code, easily we will get. So 1 to 2 pages we can keep, not more than that. If I'm asking like you to keep the sample code, you should not keep 10 to 20 pages of sample code. Just I'm telling sample code you can keep as a part of implementation. Either 2 lines, 3 lines, or like 2 pages, 3 pages. So like that you can keep. It should not exceed more than 5 pages. Okay, it should not exceed more than 5 pages. One sample module you cover, and you take that. So the implementation mainly concentrate on tools which they have used like IDEs and technologies like programming languages and sample code of an application not exceeding 5 pages. This is a part of an implementation. And testing. In testing, you will write first types of testing which you have performed. So before going to the test cases, types. So each and every application will have 4 types of testing, as we know, very familiar with them. As a part of the 5th unit, I have explained them. Unit testing, integration testing, system validation testing, system testing. Unit, integration, validation, system. Then you may have one query. So how to explain these topics? Simple. You need to write the unit testing. What is unit testing and how you have performed unit testing in your application. So for example, if I'm talking about the some of the modules, and you know, these are the some of the modules which are there in Zomato application. For example, order management is one module. Okay, and fruit delivery is one module. So these are the some of the functionalities which we are having. We need to identify. First we have, as a part of unit testing, we have identified the following modules. So the first one is order management, and second, like restaurants also, confirmation from restaurant, order management, food delivery, and feedback system. These are the 4 modules which we have identified for the Zomato application, and we have performed unit testing. That's it, not more than that. Okay, and next one, when you are talking about an integration testing, the above 4 modules we have integrated, and we check the behavior of the each and every module after integrating. Is it disturbing any functionality? Okay, and next one. So validation testing. When we are talking about the validation testing, what we will tell? So we will tell order management system. So initially we check whether order management system is working properly or not. Okay, that is validation testing. Means we are checking the functionality of individual module will be called as validation testing. And again, finally, we are checking entire functionality of an application, which we are calling it as a system testing. So each and every testing process, hardly 10 lines you will have. Hardly 10 lines you will have. So that testing we need to explain in the initial stages. So types of testing which we are going to cover here are unit and integration, and next validation, and the next last one is a system. So these are the testing concepts which you are going to explain as a part of testing. Once your testing is done, then you will write the test cases. The test cases for one module. So all the students are preparing only one module. So login, if you are talking about, so login you can write the test cases. So login module you are writing the test cases, and as a part of user interfaces you are going to screenshots of your application. So minimum 10, maximum 15, that's it, or 16, because 18 to 2 you will have, and each and every user interface will have figure number. Each and every user interface will have figure number. So I'm clearly mentioning here itself, fourth chapter subchapter is DFD. Okay, fourth chapter, if you take the subchapter is DFDs. First subchapter is DFD. Second subchapter means 4.1 is DFD. 4.2 is UML diagrams. 4.3, if applicable, ER diagrams. So all the diagrams will have figure names and the figure numbers and the names. So suppose if you are writing one figure in a fourth chapter, the figure name is figure number is figure 4.1. So figure 4.1. TFD diagram level 0, figure 4.2.1, okay, 4.2.1 or 4.1.1. 4.1.1 is a level 0, 4.1.2 is a level 2. So in the similar way we need to do the figure headings till the end of the documentation. Suppose if you are having tool figure in a fifth chapter, so you will write IDE, so that figure 5.1, which tool name you are going to. Suppose if I am using Eclipse, or if I am using an tool for implementation, if I am using Anaconda, if I am using the Jupyter, so I will write that figure 5.1 Jupyter notebook. Okay, so in the similar way, if you are doing the testing, types of testing will not have any testing part figures here, just will have an intro descriptive information, and test cases you will have table. Test case is a table which you are going to do. Okay, and user interface you will have the screenshot. For example, figure 6.1, or no, not 6.1, it's a 6.3. User interface subchapter 6.3.1. The figure name is a login page, sign up page, registration page, order page. Okay, customer feedback page. So the multiple screenshots you will take, like catalog page, search page, many things you will add as a part of the screenshots. Okay, finally what you are going to do, all the things whatever you have mentioned in your project, you are going to list of figures, all the figures which you have used from the starting to the ending of the project, you are going to mention as a list of figures. Same you will mention, like figure 1.1, which figure name, just you will write in a bold, you will not, you will have figure name and the numbers, figure name and the numbers you will have as a part of documentation. Okay, figure name number you will have, that's it. Are you getting my point? List of figures means you will write list of figures is a heading. As a list of figures you will have first figure is, for example, if I am taking first figure is SDLC. So the first figure is a SDLC, you will write which page number. So software development life cycle, and the page number you will mention it is first or second page. Okay, in the similar way, suppose if I am going to give a DFD, So the DFT figure where it is there, data flow diagram level 0 and data flow diagram level 1. Figure number like page number is 56 and page number is 68. Like that you will write. All the text which you are going to keep under this section is bold. Okay. So in that way we will write. Once you are done with the testing part, so what we will do here again, same, we will conclude it and we will take some references and we will add some appendices. Okay. So what we will do, testing, after doing the testing, you are going to conclude. Yeah, conclusion and the references. Okay. So conclusion will not have number, references will not have number, but those will act as a main chapters. Conclusion and the references. From where you have referred the content and each and everything will place in the conclusion, like references. And in the conclusion, you will keep like what is the main motto and what they have done. You are going to conclude it in 150 to 200 words. And conclusion will not have bullet points. Never ever keep bullet points in the conclusion. So references, if you want to keep, you can keep two types of references under references. One we will have bibliography, one we will have bibliography. Bibliography and bibliography means, bibliography means if you want to, if you have referred content from any of the textbooks. Okay. If you have referred content from any of the textbooks or PDFs. That kind of scenario will be called as a bibliography. And if you have taken any content which is in online, I lost the connection. Yeah, so as a part of bibliography which you are going to keep is like textbooks or the PDF if you have referred any information. And next one, if you are referred any content from the of online, that we can call it as an bibliography. So two things we are going to keep. Okay. So this is a final thing. And next we are going to add an extra like appendices which we are going to add as a part of like the first appendix which we are going to mention is an list of abbreviations which we have used. Okay. And before this we can keep here The research papers. Papers one or two maximum. We will find the content easily. So papers one or two which are related to the project, and list of papers, and then then you can keep here the SRS, your software requirement specification document. Here you will keep, and the list of abbreviations you will keep. That's it. So with the list of abbreviations, we are going to end, and finally you are going to keep the QR code in the last page. Okay, so which should consist of all of your project documentation and diagrams. JPGs that we are going to upload. So in the QR code, you are going to keep this, upload all the project documentation final version and the diagrams, like comma SRS and the diagrams. So this is a final version. This is the final copy. So if you are having all of these things in your documentation, means in a record, then that will be approved. Okay. So you can take a screenshot of this. If you want, you can take a screenshot
But your
of this.
screen is not visible.
Oh, I need to share. Yeah, now it is, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So here, wherein I stopped here. So conclusion and the references. As a part of references, you can keep the textbooks or the PDF information is like bibliography you are going to, and the online like bibliography we are calling. And you can add one or two research papers, so which are related to your application. You will get them easily. So WhatsApp, like WhatsApp, Facebook, Insta, whatever the applications we are having, that research papers basically will have. So that research paper one or two, and the software requirement specification document which we are going to keep, and the list of abbreviations and the QR code with the documentation you are going to add. So these are the things that we are going to add at the end, last. So after reference and the conclusion, so this is the appendix E, and this is B, and this is C. So these three we are going to add. A, B, C. These are the three papers, one or two papers, not one or two pages, papers. Okay. Research papers, one or two, and the SRS document. And you need to no need to modify anything in the research papers. As it is, you have to take a printout and you need to keep it in the back. Okay. And SRS document also you have made already yesterday. So that you need to keep as it is here, approved version. And list of abbreviation you have to work here. So some of the, like if you are making use of like UML, unified modeling language. Okay, if you are making use of the like any like IoT, if you are going to use Internet of Things, so list of abbreviation we are going to keep in that at the end of the documentation. And finally you are going to create one QR code. Finally you are going to create one QR code documentation. That QR code you are uploading the documentation, SRS, and the diagrams. These three things you are going to keep in the documentation. And like online QR code generators. So a lot of QR code generators will be there. Okay, you can go here. Either you want to keep the free text. Okay, so here, or either you want to keep an contact or app, which one you want to keep, so you can make use of it. So what we will do basically, we'll create one Google Drive link. In that Google Drive link, we will upload all the information, and that URL we will copy. Suppose if I am taking this URL and I will copy this URL here, so the QR code is generated. So if anyone is checking this QR code, then I can access an information. Okay, as you can see, in the similar way we'll do. Okay, so here we will create a QR code which should have an information related to the like documentation, SRS, and the diagrams information you are going to keep as a part of final QR code generation. This one will be the backside of your documentation, extreme backside, last page. Okay, so this is the final outline. This is a final outline wherein we can make use of this, and I will tell you the formatting. Suppose if you are going to keep the title, means main title, so main title is up to you, logo, tagline, each and everything. So how much you want to keep, you can keep. Some applications are having only 3 to 4 letters, and some applications are having like 2 to 3 lines or 1 line are also there. So it is up to you. So if you want to keep like 18 TNR, 18 times New Roman, center alignment. Okay, if you want to keep 18 times New Roman and the center alignment, you can do. Okay, you can see the documentation specifications 18 TNR. So if you are thinking it is like small, then we can even change it also. At least like 36, 46, fine. Like suppose if I am keeping an application name, so which is in like caps. Yeah. So center alignment. So which is also come again in the center. And on the top, I will keep the logo of that. And down, I will add the tagline, which is not of the same size. So logo you can keep. And here on the down, you can add some of the tagline, which is of almost 20 is okay. 20 or 18 is fine. Okay, so here we will add an tagline. So this if I'm talking about an like title page. So where it is now here, application name, logo, and the title page. And next one, so next one, suppose if you are going to keep any like title, main chapter headings, if you want to keep. So the main chapter heading, you can take it TNR 16. TNR 16. Okay, and center align. So TNR 16 central alignment, which we are going to keep as a chapter. Okay, so chapter headings. We are going to keep the chapter headings TNR 16. So throughout the documentation, common font and the style should be followed. Okay, common font and style should be followed throughout the document, and this chapter heading will have the number. Okay, suppose if I am keeping one, introduction. Okay, so it's a TMR times New Roman 16 we are having here, and in the center you will place it. Okay, and subheadings you can take TNR 14, and subheadings you can take TNR 14. Okay, and all text throughout the documentation you can keep TNR 12. 12 whole text. So whatever the text is there in the documentation. So this one, Times New Roman 48. So TNR 48 you have as an application. Okay, and this one is main headings which you are going to keep. So the introduction is the first chapter which you are going to add here. Introduction, literature survey, system study, design and modeling, implementation, testing, conclusion and references are not having any numbers, and appendix, each and everything will follow the 16 only, TNR 16 only documentation. Okay, till the end of the documentation. All the subheadings till the end of the documentation will follow 14. All the text which you are keeping in the documentation till the end of the documentation will follow the TNR 12. And next, figures and tables, so which will have Times New Roman 10 center alignment. Times New Roman 10 center alignment you have to do. For example, if I want to insert any figure or the picture, what is this? Something is there. Now, suppose if I am adding here, just a center alignment will do. Yeah, center alignment we are going to do here, and down you will have here like figure 1.1 some photo. If I am keeping, so what I am telling is this one I will take Times New Roman 10 TNR 10 and bold like this. So till the end of the documentation, same formatting you will follow. Figure 1.1, so it's a photo, and so figures and tables, all the, so center alignment. So like this you should have. Here picture will be there, and here figure you will have, and in the center you are going to align it. Okay, so these are the specifications which I am going to specify. And throughout the documentation, suppose if I am taking paragraph, if I am taking, you need to select like this. Okay, this paragraph is having the justification like this. So this one you need to concentrate, justify. So Control J can be used here. So throughout the documentation, Control J only you have to follow. Okay, so Control J, and here the paragraph if you want to select. Okay, so here don't add any spaces in between, and you can keep the single and okay. Okay, don't add any spaces in between, you can keep simple. So like this which I have selected. So like you can go to the paragraph, and here you will have don't add any spaces in between the paragraph of the same style. And if you want to remove also you can take out. And if I am increasing, you can see double if I am taking, so it will increase like this. So this much is not required for us. Okay, single is enough for us. So this is okay, fine. Okay, so this is about the documentation and the formatting. This is about the documentation and the formatting. And never ever start new chapter in the same page. Always the new chapter should start in the next page. Okay, the new chapter always you should start in the next page. If you are not starting new chapter in the next page, you have to do the documentation one more time. Okay, so new chapter, new page. Okay, end it and start in the new page. So subchapters, it is not mandatory you need to start in the new page, but you should make sure that if you are starting subchapter at the end of the page, again you have to do it. You should not start subchapter at the end of the page. So subchapter, if it is there, so one or two lines if you are there, you can start there. But if you are starting heading of the subchapter in the new previous page and you are explaining that in the next page, will not be allowable. You should not do such kind of things. Okay, so always start new chapter in the new page and subchapter in the fresh page if it is possible. Okay, and don't start the subchapter at the end of the page and start explaining in the next page. Okay, that also you should not do. These are the main things which you need to keep in mind when you are doing the documentation. All the text should be in a justified. So you need to select the justified. Okay, and you have to do the proper subheadings. So in each and every chapter, and you have to write the, these are the formatting rules which you need to follow till the end of the documentation. And this one is the figure which you are going to take, and you are going to write the figure name and number. And this figure 1.1 you will keep like this. So as I mentioned you, list of figures, right? So list of figures and list of tables, right? So what you will do here is, yeah, suppose if I'm taking list of figures, so list of figures you will keep, and you will take it in the center and you will bold it. And again you will take here, so list of figures. So what is the figure? Figure 1.1. Control C. And suppose if I'm having here, yeah, figure 1.1, here you will write, and here you are going to give the number. So what is that number? Suppose if it is there in the 51 page, then you will write the figure 1.1 is at 51 page. And suppose if I am going to do the same thing, so figure 1.2 is there. So figure 1.2 you will write again, some photo is there which is already there at the next position, like 56 it is there. So like this you have to maintain the list of figures. This is the list of figures how you will write. Okay,
Sir,
so
is
as
it
it is,
mandatory?
yes, it is mandatory. Why? Because if you don't mention the list of figures, I will not understand which diagrams you have drawn and what are there in your documentation. So if I want to refer directly deployment diagram, I will check here the deployment diagram is there. Okay, so that page I will directly go and I will check it which deployment diagram you have made. So that's the reason list of figures are important. So if I want to check an architecture diagram, I will go here and find which architecture diagram you have drawn and which page it is. So I will write the architecture diagram and I will go to the particular page number. Instead of going to the implementation chapter, architecture, and there I have to find an architecture diagram is lengthy process. Suppose if I am having list of figures, it is easy for me to identify where the figure is. So by seeing the list of figures, I can figure it out what type of diagrams you have kept in your record. Because all DFDs will be there and each and everything, tools, technologies, complete gist I will get if I check your list of figures. In the similar way, if I go to the list of tables, same thing you have to do again here the list of tables. In the similar way, you will do here. In a fresh page you will take, in the fresh page you will take and you will write the list of tables. Okay, and here you will write the list of tables, same thing, bold you will do. Fine. And here you will write the like table name. Suppose if you are having comparative study, so you will write the table name as like comparative study. So comparative study you will have here, and here you will mention the page number. So which one? Either it is a 65, okay, 65 you will mention here as a part of comparative study, which is Times New Roman 12, like this. So I'll understand. So which one I am taking here? Yeah. Okay, so this is the way we will do the list of figures and list of tables. Okay. So that's it. So list of tables and list of figures which you will have like this, and this is the document format specifications. Fine. So I'm closing this. So if you are having any queries, follow this documentation rules and regulations and prepare the final document and share it to me. Okay, take 1 week of time, finish each and everything, and you have to share all the documents to me. Almost 50 to 60% content is available with you, and remaining content you have to do now. Some of the new things I have added, right? So that new things you need to. Okay.
Sir, could you share that Word document in the chat, sir?
Do you need that word